Namaste. Sit up nice and tall. Close your eyes and take a moment just to get grounded, readying yourself for this 50-minute yin practice. Notice where you're holding tension in the body. Notice your inhalations and your exhalations. Releasing tension with every exhalation. Exhaling what does not serve you. Softening your shoulders. Releasing tension in your face and the jaw. Breathing in and breathing out. Slowly bring your hands to your heart. And let's move into our first posture. We're coming into child's pose. So bring yourself around onto all fours. If you need any props, a blanket or a bolster. Bolster is a nice way to practice this posture, support for your torso. Open your knees wide and soften. Forehead to the mat. If your forehead does not touch the mat, you can elevate, maybe bring a pillow or a blanket underneath your forehead. And please know that you can modify all of these postures. You can use all of your props to soften maybe the pressure on your knees or any joints. As a reminder, there are 3 principles in a yin practice. Number 1 is to find your edge. Find a place in the body where you're feeling sensation. Not too little, not too much, just right. Call this the Goldilocks position. And find stillness. And in holding still, we hold the posture for a long time. Remember, there's no forcing and no pushing. Should you feel any tingling, numbness, or pain, please come out or adjust the posture. You can switch the positions of your arms. And slowly bring yourself out of the posture and come to lie down onto your belly. And take a moment just to relax. You can sway your knees or your feet side to side. Let's move slowly into our next posture, broken wing pose. You reach your right arm out by your side, bring your left hand by your side and roll over to your right side. You can kickstand your left foot behind your right foot. You can also simply rest your legs one on top of the other. Really adjust yourself any way you need. If you find this is too intense, you can slowly lower the arm a little bit. If it's not intense enough, you can bend your elbow. So please remember, this is your body. Your body is your guru. All you need to do is listen. And deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Remember when you're getting distracted, just bring yourself back to the body and the breath and the sensation. Last few breaths here. But slowly come out of the posture, drag your arm by your side and relax. Shavasana. We stress the tissues and then we rest the tissues. Okay, let's move to the other side. Reach your left arm out and repeat on the left side. Your right arm, you may choose to let it dangle behind you. This posture opens the pectoral muscles, and we're stimulating the meridian channels on the inside of your arm. This is your lung meridian. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. When you feel your body invites you to go deeper into the posture, deeper into sensation, then move yourself a little bit further. Just imagine getting into a hot bathtub. The bath is so hot that at the beginning you only tip your toe in and then your foot. And then you slowly allow the leg and the body to follow. You don't just jump right in. You allow the body to get used to this sensation. It's like this in our yin postures. You allow the body to slowly get used to the sensation. And when you need to go deeper, when you need to add some hot water, you might add some hot water. Going deeper into the pose. But first, let's come out of this posture, out of this broken wing pose. Come to lie down on your belly again and rest. And let's move into our next posture. Bring yourself back up to tabletop. We're coming into Sphinx pose. You may take your bolster or maybe a big pillow underneath your chest so that your elbows come out on the other side and you can comfortably come down onto your forearms. You can use a block for the forehead to rest onto if you choose to let the head release forward. Or you don't have to use any props at all. I love to use props, but it's entirely up to you. Your body, your yin. This posture creates a gentle compression along the spine. And there's the story of the rabbit in the forest. So the rabbit in the forest was looking up into the sky, and he saw the eagle soaring high above in the sky. And he became so afraid that he ran around in circles and he told all his friends, he said, "Oh, there's the eagle high above, and he will come down and he will eat me." The next day, again he saw the eagle soaring high above in the sky, and he ran around in circles to all his friends and he said, "There's the eagle, there's the eagle, he will come down and he will eat me." And so it went, day in and day out. If you would like to come up onto your hands into seal posture, please move up into seal posture. So this rabbit, again, the next day he saw the eagle soaring high above. And this day he yelled so loudly, there's the eagle, he will come down and he will eat me," that finally the eagle heard him and he thanked him for his great idea. So he focused on his fear. And finally his fear became truth, because that's all he focused on. What are you focusing on? Are you focusing on the things that you're afraid of? Or are you focusing on the things you want to happen? Few more breaths here. Take your time. Remove any props. And then once more, find Shavasana. And then maybe on your belly, maybe you want to take a child's pose. Maybe you want to roll onto your back. And let's slowly come into our next posture. Bring yourself back up into tabletop. And take a moment to stretch back into a child's pose. Just for a few breaths. And bring yourself back up into tabletop. And set up for some cat-cow breaths. Inhale, arch the spine, tilt your chin up. And exhale, round chin to chest. And take a few more. And then after this one, slowly come up into downward facing dog. Pedal your legs, walk the dog, move around any way you like. Then we'll slowly come into a ragdoll, into dangling posture. So walk your hands to your feet. Your feet are about hips width apart. You can place your hands on a bolster, maybe on some blocks. If you need to modify more, bring your forearms onto your thighs with your knees bent. Relax your head. And for your full dangling posture, you can take opposite hand to opposite elbow and dangle forward. Shoulders release. Head releases heavy. This posture provides a gentle opening in the backs of the legs and along the spine. And we're stimulating the urinary bladder channel, running all along the back and the legs. And as an option here, you could take your hands behind your back and interlace your fingers and let the arms reach up and over to provide a gentle opening in the shoulders. You can use a strap here between the hands or simply go back to your dangling pose with your arms out in front of you. Nice deep breaths in, Deep breaths out. And release your arms and move right into a squat, into your malasana. Your toes are turned out, your knees are wide. You bring your elbows in between your thighs, palms together at heart center. If you need some support, if you're falling over, you can sit on a block, a pillow, or a bolster. Another option is to walk yourself up to a wall so that you could rest your back against the wall, and then you can bring your feet flat onto the mat, the heels down, without tipping over, elbows in between your thighs. So choose your variation and settle into the posture. Malasana, yogic squat. There's a nice reading from Jeff Foster. Whatever it is, stop trying to figure it out right now. Let it remain unresolved for a little while. Stop trying to fast forward to the answer scene in the movie of your life. Trust the present scene of no answer yet. Allow the question itself space to breathe and be fertilized. Relax into the mysterious ground of now. Inhale, exhale. Good. Slowly come out and take your Shavasana. Rest. Hug the knees into the chest. Roll to your side to fetal pose and come up. We're going to set up for dragonfly pose. This is your straddle. It feels nice to sit on a little height, maybe a blanket. Open your legs nice and wide. Again, a prop in between your legs feels good. And you can prop it up to any height. And release forward. Relax your thigh muscles. Relax your legs. If you're unable to release forward, bend your knees a little bit or increase the height underneath your sitting bones. It's a feeling sensation here in your inner thighs and groin, but also along the spine. Remember, there's no forcing, no pushing. We're just allowing the body to open in time. And when the body invites you to go deeper, move deeper. Release more. Notice any hugging or clenching in the body. Allow yourself to soften. Deep breaths in. Deep breaths out. Last few breaths here. And slowly make your way back up. Remove your props and gently bring your knees together and sway your knees side to side. And come back into your Shavasana. And our next pose is Happy Baby Pose. Hug the knees into the chest. You can flip the soles of the feet up to the sky and hold the outer edges of your feet. You may choose to grab your toes. An option also is to hold your shin bones just below your knees and allow the knees to open wide in reclining frog. Good. Once again, settle in. Feel the sensations in the body. Find your edge. And know that you may encounter a physical edge, but there may also be an emotional edge. So it's not unusual to feel a little anxious, maybe some sadness. So all just emotions, sensations. They're just visitors stopping by. For any reason you need to come out early or adjust the posture, please listen to the body and do so. This is a very deep hip opening posture. If you're feeling overwhelmed, just remember you just have to take one more breath, and then another, and then maybe another. It's like riding a wave, these sensations. You come to the top, and you go right back down on the other side, just up and down, coming and going. Gently release the pose, feet to the mat. And again, take your Shavasana. Feeling the release of the posture. And then bend your knees, walk your feet back towards your buttocks. Cross your right leg over your left leg. Maybe wrapping your foot all the way around. Shift your hips to the right. Let the knees fall over to the left side. Maybe using a little height underneath your knees if your knees don't fall all the way to the ground. Reach your right arm out and keep your head in neutral. We're holding this posture a little bit longer than you may usually do, and there are a lot of arteries in your neck, and we want to avoid arterial compression. Hold for a few more breaths here. And slowly come back up. And once again, taking your Shavasana. Let's set up for the other side. Slowly walk your feet back. This time crossing your left leg over the right, maybe wrapping all the way around. The hips shift to the left side and your knees come down on the right. Left arm reaches out to your left side. Your head in neutral. The twists at the end of a practice are a nice way to re-establish the equilibrium in the nervous system. Nice massage for your internal organs. A few more breaths here. Spinal twist. And slowly make your way back up. Tangle the legs. You can reach your arms over your head if you'd like to take a stretch before final Shavasana. For final Shavasana, you may want to try a bolster or rolled up blanket underneath your knees. Allow your arms to relax by your side. And settle in. There's nothing to do, and there's nowhere else to be. Allow your body to get heavier with every breath. Release tension with every exhalation. Deep rest. And slowly release your Shavasana. Roll over to your side into fetal pose. And then press up into seated posture, keeping your eyes closed. Sit up nice and tall. And take a moment here to check in after this practice. Check in with your physical body and your emotional body. Slowly here, bring your hands to your heart center in Anjali Mudra. Thank yourself for showing up, for doing the practice. Namaste.